really freaking good. It's like epic as crap. It's like you really want to just go out and hunt a vampire. It's very tantalizing. But let's go ahead and press our little option button for YouTube. We're gonna go ahead and slam over to the game overlay, and we'll get started. Should be pretty cool. Seems like we're getting a little bit farther. The detectiveness, I like it just because it has more of like a what I feel like some detective games are lacking in that nowadays, like front and like Thinking City was probably a great example of how you can have a decent game. Oh dear gosh, I do like that they had like just a straightforward narrative where you had to press the options. Makes it a little bit easier. But maybe there is a advantage to that for them. Rats in the hospital. There's like some crazy load time thing where they don't have to like craft some API to like do all these things. They're like, yeah, we'll just rely on like the people pressing the X button or option. That's my bad. It'll be fine though. We only lost a few seconds. But definitely excited later on to get into some Red Dead Redemption for Undead Nightmare. Yeah, I need to boot up my PlayStation and do a few breakdowns on my other PlayStation. And then I should be pretty excited to check out all that fun stuff. Alright. So my player has some pretty good skill points, and I think we should probably upgrade some stuff. Bloodthirst. Why, yes. Yes, I do. Increase the blood absorption to bite. I feel like that's like a must. For a vampire, at least. Yeah. Definitely. Give me that 5%. In fact, I might actually even just go a little bit more and go to 10%. Ooh. Now we're sitting a little more healthier. Science I want to get into, but I feel like this claw needs to be stronger. Oh, I need 2,000. Dear Glob, that is crazy. That claw is dangerous. Modern marvel with thriller. Defense, blood barrier, 5 seconds, invisible barrier. Wow. That actually is insanely helpful. I'm gonna try it. Because that might help out in like when people were just trying to boss up. Yes, I would like to confirm that setup. Seems pretty chill to me. The following night. Whoa. Okay, so this person needs some... I guess he's anemic, so he probably needs blood or something like that, I would assume. So Clay Cox, we gotta make something for him. And then fragile, let's see here, details. Alright, yeah, seems like we got 2 like great medical points to like bring into this. Shouldn't be too happy. Not too shabby at all. I don't think I can craft any of the fatigue right now either. Oh no, I can. Sodium hydrochloride solution. So I could probably get downstairs at that there's like a doctor out there. It's like the what are you buying guy from Resident Evil. At the same time too, I always want to make sure that, you know, our shelves are stocked and utilized. Oh, see, look at that. How sweet was that? You gotta live a little. And you learn. Swansea, sorry. My bad. I thought this was my office, bro. Dear Club, I will be able to craft anything and everything. This is tight. What's up with this? He just happens to have a busted out door that he can just like teleport back and forth from. That's normal. I feel like that wasn't there last time. I might be mistaken, but I oddly don't remember that there. Oh, I need 8. That's a lot. I mean, keep searching. Since the hospital is a great place for medicine, let's go ahead and stick there. And if anything, we'll just go down and talk to that guy I was mentioning.
I cannot enter.
Third floor. We'll check the 3rd floor. Maybe one day it'll open. That day's not today, though. Sucks. Probably need some special ass key. But since we're down here. Yes.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss.
I really like these kind of parts.
I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Not this dark part, but I mean,
why you're a patient.
I really like the
It's the
story
pain, sir.
dialogue.
The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Oh, okay. He's
Can I
not
do
as
anything
dark
for
as I
you?
thought he was.
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Okay, let's see what else we can ask him. Personal question.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Well, I can see his
Have you
point
heard
there.
rumors of underhand dealings in the hospital?
If you want to know what's going on here, you better talk to Miss Jones.
Oh, she knows.
She knows everything. Especially what she shouldn't.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Nice.
Fear and disgust.
Good evening,
on
miss.
every street.
I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy.
Well, that kind of
You'll
looks
never
cool.
forget the night you met THELMA HOWCROFT.
That
You
girl that
keep
looks like she's
calling
about to
me
stab
mortal.
her in the back. Look at
Why
her.
is that?
She's like clenching that
And if
syringe.
I'm mortal, what are you?
Well,
What is the nurse
Doctor,
doing? Is she like on standby?
you must know.
She's like, if she goes crazy, I'm gonna stab her.
Vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this
Or she
hollow
feels like a
shell of
vampire,
flesh.
therefore she is a vampire.
Do you require my services, Miss HOWCROFT?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
Hey Connor, good morning to you. Damn, man. I have my lovely computer for those nights that keeps my awesome freaking like rooms warm. Interesting. I'm starting to understand more. Okay, I like that. That's actually really cool. See here.
I'm assuming you must be
That's
a
what I want to know.
patient.
Why she's a patient.
Am I right, Miss HOWCROFT?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are you really, Miss HOWCROFT? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is
At
that
least
not
he's
enough for
entertaining
you,
that.
puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I don't know, man. Vampires usually are predicted as like, you know, really smart because they have a lot of time on their hands.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games.
I'm doing pretty
My
good, Connor.
secrets are
Hopefully,
beyond their comprehension,
you can
Dr.
hear me. I
Reed.
know there was just a Windows update, probably trashed everything. Well, let's go ahead and see. Seems like
I'll
I have
leave
no more
you,
questions for this
Mistress of
girl.
the Dark, to your nocturnal
It's out.
activities.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Daily routine.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full
Nice,
of
man.
fanciful
How's that
tales.
going to be? What kind of college classes you got lined up, Connor? Glad to see you on Facebook, buddy.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough.
Damn,
Who
she's got
cares
some
if the
harsh
nurse
ass
finds
words.
some happiness where she
She's like
can.
ready to throw down, man.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Yeah, man, totally. Optimism is half the battle.
What can you tell me about the strange
I'll try it
man
one more time, see if I can
visiting
crack
one of
it.
the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess.
Nice.
You
Both
spoke
great
with that old shrew,
curriculums
Harriet Jones.
for
Do
essential
not pay
learning.
attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Fear and disgust on every street.
At this rate, we're going to be able to find everything without even getting to the other guy.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
I
And good
think I
evening
might
to you,
have a
Dr.
medicine
Reed.
for him.
Can I be of any help?
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
No, I mean, we gotta try to help you, buddy.
Have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
Everyone says Miss
Goodbye,
Jones
Dr.
knows.
Strickland. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going
I
to
don't
be
think I've met
colleagues.
this guy.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome
Nice,
aboard,
man.
I
KFC
suppose.
bucket.
Does my arrival inconvenience
always
you
delicious.
in some way, Dr.
I've always been a
Let
big
us
fan of it
just
here and
say
there.
that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Yeah, that's great, man. Yet it sounds like you had a fun time getting it. Legendary story over
If
there.
you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please
I had to say
feel
this.
free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed.
Oh.
Of course, you can't say the same
Gotcha.
about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about
Yeah, I
something
can
in
agree with
particular?
that.
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Do you need my assistance?
Not at all. I'm sure that you are used to gaining people's trust with your impressive skills. Well, it will not be the case with me.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men
nice,
to
Connor.
improve your theories.
I think you're already off to a good start, man. Yeah, this guy seems like a total jerk.
Knowledge has
He seems
always
angry.
been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative. It is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
That's good. They found something they can agree on.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I feel
Tell
like
me, Waverly,
I already got
what
the
do
answer
you
out of
think
this,
of
but
Dr.
maybe there's something I
Strickland's
missed in the...
enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Ackroyd. I'm trusting your judgment on this.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Have you heard about any blackmail going on in this hospital?
Blackmail? Nonsense.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Oh, this must be his chest. Cool.
How long's it going to take to fix me properly, huh? A year?
You have the right to disapprove of our...
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring
Yeah,
uncharted
I can definitely see that, Connor.
I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences
That
aside,
guy in the
don't you
background
think?
is fucking
Why is it
ridiculous.
so difficult to
He
work
sounds
together?
completely
I believe that if
intoxicated.
Dr.
So funny.
Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Guess that's it for him.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No. Nothing.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Doesn't seem like there's any more boxes.
Cold children, Ellen. As for me,
It's locked.
Damn, I was hoping it wasn't gonna be.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
I guess at this point in time, I'm gonna go over and jog up to my office and see what's up. Alright, no worries, Connor. You take it easy, man. Oh, heck yes.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I'm never going
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. GOSWICK?
I have other concerns right now, Doctor. But I'm fine, thank you.
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr. Reed, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. GOSWICK. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Wow, she's a real sprite.
Goodbye, Mrs. GOSWICK.
let you down, Mike.
Good evening, Mr. GOSWICK. How are you?
I'm okay.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. GOSWICK.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your throat, Mr. GOSWICK?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Okay, so we crossed them off the list.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Here again.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
My blanket. Oh, the cold will be my death.
I guess she
Miss
can't help
Hampton.
the father.
We'll talk again later.
That's hilarious.
The daily routine.
Liars and thieves, every last one of them.
It's locked.
I had an idea.
This is no time to celebrate. It's just the last thing our patients
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
That is pretty good.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Branagan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Different times, I guess.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Branagan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I
keep
see.
forgetting I can change the angle.
Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have
with
already
paint.
resigned.
With paint.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them.
It would be inappropriate.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
I don't know about that. Sometimes people just keep going.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Neat.